Lazina, and I guess, do you want to introduce yourself or do you want me to do a bio? Because you are amazing. You are my favorite healer. I love getting work done for you. We've known each other for, I don't even know how long now, like
since the first circle at the church with Tara. So that must be, that must be over 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness. And we've been working together for a lot of years, and you have just continually leveled up year after year after year. You are so dedicated to your spiritual development. I love it.
Thank you.
I love where your work has been going. I absolutely love it. You're an amazing channel. And I'm really excited to have you here in my little space in people's little earbuds. Hi.
I am happy to be here. Hello. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this all day. I get to chat with Jody.
Yay.
Yay.
Now, did I miss anything? Because you facilitate workshops.
So I facilitate workshops. I run meditations. I'm going to be eventually teaching about alchemy, esoterics, but what I've just been loving for the last few years. Well, actually, I think I've been loving it all my life, but I was able to finally jump into it at the beginning of COVID because everything went online.
You've been studying alchemy?
Yes.
Like alchemy, the Pantheon. Oh my God.
Yes. So alchemy and alchemy, Egyptian higher alchemy, that's what kind of led into it. But it's opening up into many other things. But of course, there was Spirit took me on a tour, collecting information and remembering who I was in past lives, and actually I feel like I've been just collecting parts of myself so I can do this work, this authentic work, and that started in 2018.
I like the imagery of that, collecting the parts of yourself. So would you say from different incarnations?
Yeah, I feel like different incarnations and then different cultures. It first started off with the Hawaiian, the Polynesian. So that's the Lemurian lineage that started collecting me. And it was the actual goddess Pele that started time jumping me. When I'd be driving my car, I don't know if any of you know Vancouver very well, but I'd be driving along Kent Avenue, which is right beside the Fraser River. Mm-hmm. And I'd be driving on a straight patch of road, and she would just like take me back to a volcano, walking through caverns and getting me to put my face on the wet stone, and you could feel earth. And so, and it's been quite amazing. And then after that, it was the witch and wizard realm. Yeah. And we went to Portland, we went to Oregon, and then we were going to Salem. Of course, that's not the Salem, that's the famous Salem, but Salem makes you think about the witches, right? Yeah. And so over there, it was pretty neat because my son started asking about Salem, and I explained to him how witches were misunderstood and what witches actually were and are and have been, and they were listening. And I had initiation in the town of Salem, Oregon, and it was yes. And then I remember trying to figure out what happened to me because I could hear them. And then I coming back home after that trip and then just getting some confirmation. And I had a whole coven standing around me can you feel it? I just got big chills.
I just got chills. So we're on Zoom because we both have really busy lives. So we're not in the same room today recording. Yeah. But as she said that, like I could feel the presence of those wise women.
And Jody, it was so cool because what they said to me was, they said, we are your coven, and you were a part of us. And so they returned to me, or they bestowed upon me, the magic of our coven. And they said that they gave it to me because they knew that I would not misuse it.
You won't.
And I took it as a huge honor. I'm getting big chills right now. Again.
I know, it's so funny because I can see you getting the chills, and as you're getting the chills, I'm feeling them. It's so loud. I love working with you.
I love working with you too. Yeah, you have been like awesome through all of this. Like it's like we have the friends that we do, and for me in this incarnation, everyone, it's not just a friend. I feel like I've had lifetimes with you. I feel like I've been in Lemuria with you. I think I've done Atlantis with you as well, as well as Reina, Tara, and our other friends, right? I feel so connected with all of this work. And I really enjoyed this collection, because after the Hawaiian, that's when the Egyptian energies came a calling, and boy did it ever come a calling. So yeah. And then I found out this year as well that through a more in-depth look at my astrology, at my birth chart, my natal chart, that I'm in a life of self-mastery, and it makes sense. It really makes sense.
It does.
And I think one of the best things that you can do for yourself is to get to know yourself, like on all levels. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I have been going through each thread that's been woven in my tapestry and understanding how and why I tick. And then I feel like that translates into the healing work that I facilitate, and the information that comes through. I feel like you don't go through things in your life for nothing. They're meant to teach or to be taught, right? And I am that wounded healer. And so what's really cool is that you can be wounded and you can be that healer, you can be walking the path of self-mastery and still be working on your stuff.
I think if you're not working on your stuff, you're not actually walking that true path of self-mastery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's really at my core. Cause like for everyone listening, like we work together, we're in the Spirit Essence Collective together, but we've been working in many collectives for many years together. And it's true. Like I find for myself, I often get clients who are drawn to me because of the work I've done.
Yes.
Because I can stand in a place and say, friends, I have had those feelings. I have had those things happen.
Yes.
You can come to the other side. You will not be swept away in the storm of your emotions. You will not be swept away in the chaos that is happening around you, because you are strong enough. Like sometimes as facilitators and space holders, we hold the space of there is something after the storm. We've lived through it, and you can too, and come this way and rise with us.
Mm-hmm.
And witnessing people healing. And you mentioned the traveling wound. And I really want to talk to you about that, because that's amazing work you're doing. Looking at the generational and the life patterns and how they show up again and again. Because I know we've been together. I think it's been many times. I mean, I have a huge pull of Egypt. And you want to know what's crazy? I was thinking about this the other day. I know I was in Egypt, and I know one of the people in my immediate family was also there with me, and I've had that confirmed a couple times by different past life work people, and my own self, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've had other people come through in my life and take part of my life that are from that area.
Yes.
And I used to have this burning desire to physically go to Egypt.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go there.
I don't have as much of a desire anymore.
Mm.
I like, if someone said, here's your ticket, I'm like going. But that is not one of the places I want to save up and walk on. And I've been thinking about how that relates to some of the things I have been unwinding and abstaining from.
Yes.
And some of the things I have maybe not unchanged from and not unwound, but have accepted and have a different level of self-compassion around.
Awareness.
Yes.
It's awareness.
Mhm.
Awareness is what brings enlightenment.
Mhm.
Right? There is a goddess named Mahat in Egypt, and I've been just love her. And so my moon is in Aquarius, but in the Egyptian astrology, my moon is in Mahat, right? So Mahat is about equality, justice, truth, fairness,
Oh,
right?
how much
And
has equality come up in your life?
yes,
Right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
feeling angry and
yes,
like justifiable anger.
yes, yes.
Oh my God, babes.
And yes, and so I remember being told that, you know, the challenges that you will face in your life will be unique because these are not going to be the things that other people will go through. Some of them they may be, but the things that you're going to go through will be unique to you. And when you actually take up the mantle and do the work, there'll be huge dividends. Like you will receive so much. It's just going to shoot you up, well, around the ascension spiral, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna, and so I've been noticing the way I've been leveling up. Like I'm in the middle of an initiation right now, like and I can feel it. Like, you know, I keep hearing Adele, rolling in the deep.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Tell me about the wounded healer and the traveling wounds.
Well, the wounded healer. So I'm in midst of my Chiron return, right? So my birthday is coming up in April, and so it's making, I believe, it's just the moon is making the arc for the something like the Chiron return. I'm still learning about the terms,
Yeah.
but it's so interesting. Okay, I'm 50 at the moment, right? And apparently at this time in your life, your wounds from earlier life and even from past lives, in my case, return. They come to visit you again, whether they be in thought form or actual physicality. And what happens is you have an opportunity in those states where you played the victim or didn't realize that you were the victim.
Or didn't realize you could have been empowered. I think sometimes,
yeah,
right, when we're talking about our wounds that we carry,
yes,
we would never choose those things. Like we come with them sometimes, or we're taught them, or we pick them up, or whatever.
yes. And then seeing the big picture, what you choose now. A lot of people will have their Chiron return, and if they haven't done their inner work, they will just pick up that label of victim and play it out through their elder years, right?
Right.
So, but I already know that the work that I've been doing, that I've taken victimhood and realized actually what it is, embraced it, loved it, and I let it go. I've let it go because victim no more. And then I also realized that on a soul level, how I planned this out, right? I highly recommend everyone get their natal chart done and look into it, because that is a snapshot of the universe the day you were born. Not only is it a snapshot, you orchestrated that. You chose the alignments. You chose all of these quinceles, the squares, like all of these things, right? The sextiles, all of those things. You've chosen all of this. And when I've been looking at my chart, I'm just like, this is amazing. Everyone should do this, because it tells you so much. It tells you about some of the past life themes that you are working on in this lifetime and how they came with you, and maybe perhaps why you brought them with you. It's when they say, life doesn't come with a manual. No, it does. It's the day that you were born.
You're born. Yes,
Yeah.
astrology.
And there's no accident about the time that you're born. This is very specific. It's about 5 minutes difference.
Do you agree? Because I believe we come here knowing what our lessons are.
Yes.
Knowing what, like, our highest self knows what we're here to do. We sometimes take a bit to remember it. And I think even the people who aren't spiritual, that might be their agreement.
Yes. Yes.
And then not only that, but there are people in my life that I am here to teach them things, and they are here to teach me things. But we've agreed to this even if we
Yes.
don't learn it.
Yeah.
Like I think about that with the people I love and my children too, right? Like I think about the things we've walked through, the things we've overcome. And when they came here at that very specific moment in time, in their time, in my time, in their siblings' time, they, at some amazing knowing level that my human brain can't wrap itself around, they are in agreement to teach us what we need to be taught,
Absolutely.
whether or not we learn it.
Yes.
Just like when I show up in someone's life, I am only responsible for my part of it. Whether or not someone learns from the interchange,
Yes.
it is not mine to take. I can only take my learning.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Because like
it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, this is how I see it. We travel with our soul family, our soul tribe, if you will, or soul group. But we travel with these souls through all the lifetimes. This is our family, right? And then like you said, on a soul level before incarnation, we decide, okay, who's going to do what? So it's like a circle, right? And maybe this soul across from me is going to be an aggressor in my life this time, and I'm going to be the victim, and so that I can learn this. And then in another lifetime, it might be switched, right?
Yeah.
And so once I learned that, and I actually felt and embodied that, it was so much easier to let go of blame, of seeing yourself as a victim. You know, one of the things that I was talking to my son about when we've been talking about, you know, these wars that are happening right now, the racial tensions, the First Nations children, you know, their graves and all of this. I said, you know, if people only realized that we have lived so many lifetimes, that we have been all the ethnicities, I wish that we could remember that we have been each other, and that you could have that understanding. But then I also understand there's a leveling up for humanity. I mean, the Earth's vibration is rising exponentially. The Schumann resonance. You know about the Schumann resonance?
No.
So the Schumann resonance is the magnetic field. It's a measurement of the magnetic field around the Earth. And when the sun sends a solar flare down, right, and it goes. So what happens is, it comes through to the center of the Earth, the core, then it bounces out and it goes into that pocket, which is that magnetic field. And that is felt by every living being thing on Earth. Like you feel that.
And I know you keep track of these, because like I keep track of the moon and what's happening with that.
Yes.
And we'll be in a group, or we'll be chatting, or we'll be on our messenger back and forth, and people will be going, oh my God, this week, oh my God. And I'm like, I don't know, Mercury just went direct. I don't know what that is. You're like, solar flare, babies, solar flare.
Yeah.
You track it. And we've seen it in our world. Yeah.
And it's interesting because the things that we're attracted to, like even on the Facebook, the people that we follow, the groups that we follow, the Instagram, or even with NASA and space news, you know, following all of that, like you meet the right people, and then it's right there, and it's almost like a confirmation. Well, yeah, this is how I'm feeling. Well, today I have a headache and I feel current running through my body, and I had trouble sleeping. Well, then there was one day, I remember in January, there were a couple of days actually, I think it was January 20th, and there had been over 20 solar flares coming through. And I remember, I'm like, I don't know what the heck is happening. And then I just looked, I'm like, oh, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. I want to circle back on something. We were talking about our soul family and the different souls that we incarnate with, and we're setting up our purpose, and we're talking about things. One piece, I'd love to get your opinion on it. So one of the pieces I've been working on and thinking about is the people in our lives who are perpetrators, the people in our lives who have taken on that role, and no matter how big or how small, right? Yeah. Of being hurtful. Yes. And usually it's the bigger hurts, because those are the ones we tend to learn from, like in a larger sense where we're learning lessons. The amount of karma on a soul level they have sometimes agreed to take on. Mm,
so that we have the opportunity to expand and learn
yes.
can be really amazing.
You know, I just heard this the other day and I had to go rewind it. I said, I need to hear that again. Souls have great love for each other. And the souls that come to be the perpetrators, to be the aggressors, the ones who teach us the biggest lessons in our life, they have so much love for us on a soul level.
Yes.
So much so that they would drop into such a density
Yes.
to density to, almost forget who they are.
Yes.
Right. And
because they're not connecting with their highest and best self. They're not connecting.
No.
They're not resonating at that level when they are in a place where they are harming others. And you are always harming yourself when you are harming others.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because you have to be in that energy, right? That's why doing blessing work for people is so much easier than like, I'm a witch, I can curse you, but why would I go to that level?
Oh, no. Yeah.
And create out of it.
No, because it's going to just come back to you.
Well, even if it's like sitting in a pile of sticky garbage and toxicness, like it just makes you feel yuck.
Well, it's like the story of the two wolves. Which one do you feed? Right? The one that you feed, that's like whatever you focus on grows. And so, yeah, but
insert the story in here for anyone who hasn't heard it. So there's lots of renditions I've heard, and jump in if I mess up or if you know another detail. So a youth goes to their elder and they're talking about making right decisions. And the elder says, well, you have two wolves on either side of you. One is full of anger and fear and is hungry and dangerous. And the other one is full of compassion and love and is kind and nurturing. And they will always be at fight within yourself. And the youth says to the elder, but which one wins the fight? And the elder says, whichever one you feed. And so the idea is, if you are feeding the compassionate wolf, if you are making those decisions more often, that wolf gets stronger and the voice of the angry wolf gets less strong. It's always there and it's going to show up and it's going to get afraid and it's going to voice its opinion. But the compassionate wolf, if you feed it more, if you give it more of your kibbles and chocolate bars and Reese's Pieces, it will get bigger and be able to have a louder voice.
Yes. I heard another rendition about that story just recently. It was, it went like this. I fed both of them and learned control.
Oh, damn.
Right. And I thought of wow, I just got big chills.
That's good. I fed them
right?
both and learned control.
Yeah, because then that's about shadow work.
It is about shadow work.
You need your shadow. You'll never get rid of your shadow. But once you understand and learn why certain things, why you choose certain things or why you behave in a certain way, when you learn about karmic compulsions, karmic patterns. I've been learning this work through Sherwin Ing for the last few years. Amazing. Game changer. Such a game changer, Sometimes we have these compulsions and then you're kind of asleep. And I'm sure you've seen people like this.
I have been people like this.
Yes, I have been those people too. Yes, I have been that person too. Yes, we are those people. But the thing is, it's like that scene from, did you ever watch the Percy Jackson movies? Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief?
No, we didn't watch them. I don't know why, because we have all the books.
You have to watch it. Okay, you have the book. So do you remember the part where they went into the casino, the home of the Lotus Eaters? And they kept giving, so they were on a mission, right? Percy, who was Perseus, and then the satyr, and then Athena's daughter. And so I forget what her name was. And they went into this casino and they kept giving them these lotus cookies, but they would make you forget and time would pass. Remember? The time would pass. And you'd just be having fun, but you'd be kind of like in an amnesia, not realizing that time is passing. And then I remember when Percy actually saw someone from like 1971, and he said, where are you from? And he goes, and then he started talking about the time that he's from, thinking that it was actually that time. Yeah. And then he snapped out of it and he stopped eating the cookies, and then he pulled everybody out. That's what it is to wake up from karmic compulsions. This is from your lineage. This is from not just your lineage, but your past lives as well. It's compulsions. And once you wake up from that, that's that awareness, and you realize, hey, I've been choosing this kind of out of default. But now that I know, I can look at the shadow, I can understand what this is, I can make a conscious, deliberate choice. And then your shadow becomes your friend, just me and my shadow.
Oh, I like that. And do you find, because I find when I'm doing that kind of very deep work, the awareness comes, but that is just the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Of the healing, because I even get to the place where like, oh, you got to go, oh, I could choose something different.
Yep.
Okay. And then I got to think about, well, what am I going to choose? Right. Because for me, I found in the work that I've had in my own life that the opposite of what I'm doing is usually not the way either. It comes down to what I always think of as the hidden path. It's kind of based in Druidic stuff when I was studying Druidism, which I never finished, and I wish I did, but I didn't, but that's okay. As they talk about the three rays. So there's one side, there's the opposite, and the hidden path of the wise is in between.
In the middle,
the hidden way.
And that's the veil.
It makes me think a lot about how in our world, we always have these dichotomies, like there's always masculine and feminine. There's always, right and wrong. There's black and white, but really the true enlightenment is neither.
Yeah.
The best course isn't necessarily the opposite of what you don't want to do, because that's how you get into those really extreme areas of life.
Yeah. That's like
find the new way, because I'm going to get all philosophical, but I always think like, so like, for instance, if I'm not being forgiving, right? So to hold a grudge and not be forgiving. Okay. Well, I always look at the opposite of that, of just allowing someone to be not good. Right. Mm-hmm. So you're either angry at the behavior or you're complacent about the way people are treating you. Right. You're either the aggressor or the doormat. Right. But the better choice is neither of those extremes. You know what I mean? And it's just trying to find that.
Exactly. But when you're able to see someone who's coming at you like that and understand that they are also coming from a wounded place. Any kind of reaction like that is from a wounded place. It's from, and then you see their compulsion, you see the patterning, and there is a aha moment where you stop giving that same energy back. That's what I was talking about earlier, right? And then that you do come to the middle. Like you said, you're not going to the one extreme to the other. You're in that happy medium, right? Right, Angel?
The opposite of the behavior, because the opposite is still the patterning, and it's still the dichotomy, and it's still the cycles. You have to go to that hidden place.
You're going to neutral.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Isn't that cool?
I love it. I love talking to you.
I love talking to you.
We're already at like 40 minutes. We're going to have to make sure we do this again.
Okay.
Because we're the witching half hour or so, where you and I could be the witching 3 hours.
I was thinking that. I think it's been half an hour or so.
I know, right? It's so fun. But that's okay. What I wanted to make sure that we say here, and I'm going to put it, I'm going to link it on my website, and I'm going to put in the show notes, is I would like you please to promo yourself and what you're doing. So this is going to come out. So probably promo summer stuff so that people have time to sign up. And if not, just how to reach you, what services you offer.
So my name is Lazina Ramzan-Sahib. And on Facebook, my page is called Lazina, a Gathering of Lumos. Lumos being light, if you remember from Harry Potter.
Yes.
And yes, and if you would like to get a hold of me, you can email me at lazinasahib@gmail.com, and that will all be provided there in the links. And otherwise, yeah, you can. And I am also part of the Spirit Essence Collective, and all things Spirit Essence. So that's a private Facebook group that Tara Diana is running, and it's a great community, lots of wonderful people there. And what else am I doing? Yeah, and so there will be things coming up. It's still in the works, and I will be teaching so this is coming in April, right?
Yeah, I think it will be April. Yeah.
Things are still in the works, so I will have a calendar up very shortly, and yeah, you can check it out. And I am a healer. I facilitate healing. I work with the multi-dimensional energies, so that means that I can go into the different higher realms and the energetic dimensions, and I walk through and I'm able to come back, and I tune into your energetic fields, and I raise frequency. So when someone is with me, frequency raises higher. And then when we do the work that you came to do, when your guides come through, when your higher self comes through, we do this work, you're able to release because you have met that energy. And that's how you release the density, by being higher. And so I always say that people make an appointment with me. The moment they start thinking about it is when their auric field starts collecting everything that's ready to go, right? It's like a purge. And when they come to me, it's all laid out there, and I just pick up on it. And then, yeah. And so I am also able to
just picks up on it. She just like picks up just kind of a little bit on the whole familiar family thing that you're working on, and everything your soul is ready to release, and so that it can level up and be free and enlightened. That's just all she's doing.
Just a little bit, right?
And you're amazing, baby. Not only do I love receiving your work when you've done healing work for me, but I love watching you work.
Yes, you are an awesome fan club, let me tell you. And
and even just when we're together, I find when we're working, I think Tara called us out on it. When we're sitting together and we're doing work together, I always end up somehow touching you. And she's like, are you using her as a battery? I'm like, no, I'm just basking in the awesome.
in the Shakti, right?
Yeah.
Shakti's coming up. And I just got to say, I love working with you. I love all of everything that you make. Oh, you're a Mercury retrograde rescue. That stuff is awesome. Your soaps are part of my daily spiritual practice. I love them. I've just finished Persephone. And just
my new one that just finished curing. I don't even know if I'm going to sell it or just keep it for all of us. It's called Boss Babe.
Oh,
I was going through the notes and looking at the different spell work I put in that batch. And I was like, oh, maybe this is just for me and my girl. It's a good one.
Powerful.
I think it's what I'm going to do on the giveaways. I just run a giveaway, and I'm going to maybe keep it for giveaways because it's pretty good. So,
well, that's awesome. I'm going to have to hit you up for another order, and but I'll do that afterwards.
Yes. Well,
I love your stuff.
Sign off and say that this is the end of the podcast, and you and I can just keep chatting a little bit.
That's great.
Because I was kind of sitting here thinking, oh my God, we could chat for so long. I could do a first edition and a second edition.
Yes,
we could do a part 1 and 2 with you.